some point you're going to end up with a pitch. And the traditional loan officer is going to open it up like, hey, here's option 1, here's option 2, here's option 3. And what I found is that the alternative way is to set up that appointment or that pitch call in a mood where they're not expecting to be pitched. It's a little bit tricky, you gotta get creative. But what I found is that second call does not turn out to be, hey, I'm gonna go over options with you. I'm actually just gonna get your consent so I can release these disclosures. I'm gonna go and get to work on information that's applicable to you. I'm not sure what those numbers are yet, but here's the thing, is because I'm a direct servicer for the source, I have access to their underwriting system. And we call this DU and LP. But I'm not gonna explain what DU and LP is, I'm just gonna make it sound a little bit more lucrative, a little bit more enticing, right? Yeah, I got access to the underwriting system. It only take me a couple minutes. And so now they're expecting that your next call is going to be consent just to release the information. That's what they want, right? And so when you open up your second call or your pitch call, instead of saying, hey, you know what, I got those options ready, can you grab a pen and paper handy? You would open it up in a different way. You'd open it up much like this, like saying, hey, you know what, I got the consents ready for you. I'm gonna send it out to your Gmail account. Back up real quick. I already know that at that time, both of them are gonna be there. And I word it in a way where they feel that they both have to be there. Meaning, you know what, since Mrs. Judy is on this application, I need to make sure that she also gives consent. Will she be available as well? You don't need to be in the same location. I can conference call her, right? You always want to offer that out because they're going to think that they need to be in the same room. But that's just, you know, you got to be aware of your resources and your tools. So when you open up the second call, instead of a pitch and saying, hey, here's a couple options, grab a pen and paper, option 1, option 2, option 3, here's your rate, blah, blah, blah. You're already going to know what they wanted to accomplish from the first call. And that's why I said that the sale actually happens in the first call, because they're going to tell you verbatim exactly what they want to accomplish. Now, granted, it might come out at first of, I want a lower rate. If you orchestrate the conversation in a more effective way, like the way that I outline here at SalesRemastered, you're gonna be able to extract the right information to make them want it. Like they're excited to get it. And it's all about how do you ask certain questions, right? Like, how do I ask this person how much money they got in the bank? You know, how do I ask this person what their biggest fears are? It's kind of tricky. And so you're gonna learn those answers here on the channel. But if I opened up my second call and said, hey, you know what, I was sending out the disclosures, I found something, and you know what, I have an idea. I wanna run it by you real quick before I release out the disclosures. Can you put me on speakerphone so Judy can hear me? And the reason why I would open it up that way is because when I opened it up that way, I had their full attention. It was not guarded. They didn't look at me as a salesman. And so now I dismantled their initial guard, whereas if they knew they're going to a pitch call, they're talking to each other, right? Jim and Judy's like, all right, babe, well, don't tell him yes. Whatever happens, you tell him that we need to think about it. I want to compare it to here, here, and here. This is what's happening before that pitch call because they believe it's a pitch call.
Connected to SalesRemastered.